everyone. Hello. Welcome to day 4 of our 11 days of Dragon Invocations and teachings. Today we are learning about the beautiful white dragon from Orion. So I'll give you all just a minute to pop on. I really do have to go like super fast today. I know that I said I had to go fast yesterday and then still took like 30 minutes, but today it really is like, I'm not trying to rush. It's just that I do have, like 100,000 things to do. So let me know when you're here. Say hi. Let me know how you're doing. So this is the dragon that we're working with, everyone, today. The white dragon from Orion. Beautiful dragon from Orion. And I haven't done this before, but they are really strongly pulled when I pulled this card to just read to you from the deck. So first I'm going to read his message, which is transforms your ascension knowledge into pure wisdom. Process what you know, act with truth and honesty, let your wings of light grow and develop. So that's the message from this beautiful white dragon, pure white dragon from Orion. Some people say Orion. I've always called it Orion. So beautiful dragon, and was, like I said, I haven't done this in the other ones yet. I don't know if I'll do this again, but the message about Orion and what this dragon specifically does, I think that the book says it perfectly, and I'm just going to read it to you, and if something else comes up I'll tell you, and then we'll jump into the invocation. So pure white dragon from Orion transforms your ascension knowledge into pure wisdom. Process what you know, act with truth and honesty, let your wings of light grow and expand. Orion is the planet of wisdom, the ability to take the knowledge we obtain through our left brain and use it joyfully for the highest good of all. Beings from many star systems take their understanding to Orion to ask how to use it with wisdom. All the beings from Orion, including the 7th dimensional pure white dragons, carry a special light in their souls. The color white indicates purity, clarity, and advanced enlightenment. Archangel Gabriel, the unicorns, and the Great White Brotherhood all hold this incredible level of purity. Source light is diamond white. It can also be like black light. So, you know how when you're in a room that has just like a regular light on and you can't really see, like you can see just fine, but then you turn off the lights and turn on a black light and you see all the little fuzzies and everything looks a little bit different. That's kind of what I envision source like as being, like of this black light that shows all the little tiny dust bunnies, but also shows how pearly white your teeth are and how badass your shirt is. So as white holds the vibration of truth, when the pure white dragons from Orion shower it onto us, it lights up our own impeccable honor and brilliance. They are preparing us for greater advancement on our ascension path. So if any of you guys caught the live that I did on Monday for the 11/11 portal, I actually pulled this same card. So this is now 2 days in a row that I have pulled cards that I had pulled on 11/11. So it's really obvious that these messages, yesterday from the Emerald Dragon, today from the Pure White Dragon from Orion, was really saying, like, you have all of this knowledge inside of you. You have it in your bones, in your soul, in your energetic field. And what we're doing now is we're merging, just like it says, you're taking information from your left, integrating and creating something new in your right. We're finding that balance, we're finding that harmony, we're finding that Kundalini energy, that DNA energy. So the reason why I teach so much about dragons is because Kundalini, that energy that they tell you to pull up from the base of your spine all the way up through source, They often talk about dragons and the DNA helix of our, the helix of our DNA is two dragons. And that really is that perfect balance of masculine and feminine. So many people talk about the divine feminine rising, which she is rising, but you have to remember that she's the one who chose to be put in the cage to begin with. She was the one who many eons ago agreed that she would be the one to be suppressed and that eventually she would rise again. But it's because she chose it. So all this like men oppressed us and this, that, and the other, no, we made a sacred contract and an agreement that we need to hold up. So when you find that perfect balance of masculine and feminine, when you're no longer being that, a lot of people think that they have that balance and they don't. They're being a brittle, what I call brittle feminine, what my mentor called a brittle feminine, someone that's like, whatever, I know that already. Whatever, I know how to do that. Or kind of like just like that catty, I always think of like one of those really badass bitches on those lawyer shows. Most of them are in their brittle feminine because they have had to like take on a lot of the masculine traits and not honor the softness of their feminine side. But then they're like, well, I'm a woman and I deserve this and I should have equal pay for equal, like lots and lots and lots of people who are pushing for feminine rights movement are either in their brittle or swampy feminine, where they're like, they haven't found that like, you know what? Men are actually amazing. And without men, we wouldn't have life on earth either. And there are so many men out there that just want to support you. And I always just think about that scene from The Notebook where Noah is yelling at Allie and he just wants to love her and just wants to support her and just wants everything in the world for her, and she can't make up her freaking mind. And he's like, what do you want? It's not that easy. What do you want? Oh, you don't understand. What do you want? And I feel like that's what like 90% of men are doing right now. Like, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of disgusting, gross things going on in the world. And unfortunately, with the media these days, it's kind of all we ever hear about. But there are tons and tons and tons of men out there that really just want you to tell them what it is that you want, because they will go and provide it for you. They are here to provide and protect, provide and protect. That is the job of a man, and or masculine is to provide the resources for you to create something and birth it, and to protect you while you're in that process of creating and birthing. And then your job as a woman is to create and take those raw materials and make something awesome and then birth it out and release it with no attachment, knowing the second you give birth, you have now condemned that thing to die. I know that sounds really fucked up in so many ways, but we all know the second that you give birth to a baby, like it's a one-way track to the grave, right? Hey, Oyasumi. Hello, everyone. Hi, April. I see you down there. Everyone, remember, Facebook's up here, Instagram's down here. Don't worry. So just remember that, like, this is inside of you, right? So now you're thinking, oh, well, men provide, blah, blah. No, I'm talking about the energies inside of you. So when you are in that, like, I need to go out and go search, like, you don't go out searching for something, but you're looking for, like, the answers. You're looking for the materials. You're taking the classes. You're doing all these things. That's a very masculine thing to do, to go and take a class or to go and hire a mentor or to, gather those raw materials, to go get the crayons, to go get the wood, to go get the solder, and to make that badass wood burning that you're making or whatever it is. So very masculine to go and grab the things that you're going to need to provide for yourself and to protect those things that you hold close. That's all your masculine energy. And then your feminine energy is what takes that wood and that solder and makes a badass mandala out of it, or whatever it is that you do. So the pure white dragon from Orion is saying, like, you have this knowledge inside of you, and especially with the 1111 portal, it was downloaded into your energy bodies, and it's time for you to onboard that into your own reality. So process what you know. Process. I just think about computers. Honestly, new age spirituality is going towards the way of computers, and more analogies are going to start going towards computers. So process it. Like, what does a computer do? Input, processing, output. If you watch Storybots, that's like the easiest way that they can explain what a computer is. If you got kids, input, processing, output. That's how computers work. That's how your brain works. That's how your body works. That's how manifestation and creating your dream life works. You have to put in the work. And I'm not just talking about writing 8,000 affirmations. You have to actually believe it. You have to know it. And once you know it, it's happening on demand. So you can tell me that you know something. You can tell me you understand it. But like I said yesterday, stop understanding and start embodying. Stop understanding all this stuff on an intellectual level and start embodying it, start processing it through your body so that you can birth out into this world that energetic baby that you currently have your legs closed around. Let your wings of light grow and expand. So this is about that expansion that I was talking about. Again, birthing. I've been all about that lately. Like, you have to expand. You have to open up to birth these things. And when I'm saying, I use this baby analogy a lot, but it's because whatever it is that you're dreaming, that you're holding in this causal plane, needs to be birthed through you. And the only way you can do that is by expanding your body. Your physical body needs to expand. That's why yoga is so beautiful. It's actually more about moving energy through the body than it is about flexibility or anything. Being flexible allows for more space in the body, for more energy to move through you so that you can more easily expand into your next level and be able to produce the things that you want in your life. So, the next part of this message is the guidance. A pure white dragon from Orion has come to you today to advise you to examine what you know with enlightened eyes. Process any information you are working with through your right brain to discover how to use it for the highest good. The high-frequency dragons from Orion will be with you to help you with this process. They will allow you to advance your spiritual growth and expand your wings. When you hold white in your aura, people trust and respect you. This card calls on you to speak your truth, act with honesty, and be totally honorable in all of your dealings. So another big thing about this specific dragon is that a lot of the time we are terrified of what we know, and we are like, do we really know it? Is this true? And we go and we start seeking again. Guys, there is nowhere on this planet that you will be able to validate in 3D what I teach. And that's because what I teach is brand new. Like, I have tools like this deck and a few books, and besides that, it's just knowing my body and knowing when truth hits my body and knowing how truth hits in my body. Hello, everyone in Instagram land. Hey, Juliana, I see you, and Danielle, Tommy, everybody. But this dragon is saying to you, like, you can process all of this, but you have to do it through your process. Create your own process. No baby is born, like, every baby is born, and you could say they're born the same as in, they come out of a vagina. But besides that, or they're, C-sections, they come out of a uterus, let's say that. Either way, any way a baby is born, it was in a uterus first, right? We hope. We're not talking ectopic. We're talking about healthy babies that are born. They come out of a uterus, and a lot of the time they come out of a vagina. And you, like, a woman who's birthed naturally will tell you, I didn't know how to do it. My body just kind of took over and did it for me, and my brain was completely shut off. Okay, this is a resounding message through the birth community, and as someone who has birthed 2 babies naturally, that's exactly what happened, especially with my daughter when there was nobody around. There was my husband pushing on my back, and I didn't know that she was being born. My other 2 births were over 24 hours long. The fact that I had just called my birth team and she was already coming out was like, what in the hell is happening? And I didn't know what to do. My water broke, and the next push she was out, and I just knew, and then I held her like in total shock for about 10 minutes until my midwife did show up, and I was just like, look at what I did. What did I do? Oh my God, I did this. And I was just because I wasn't mentally prepared to have an unassisted home birth. I was preparing this beautiful, wonderful outside birthing experience because the middle of summer, we were going to set it all up on my deck. I had all this pretty stuff going on out there. I didn't even make it up the stairs. So that's why my post today, I was talking about like babies just come when they want and where they want. Never in a million years would I have imagined that I was going to birth my daughter unassisted in my bathroom over a toilet. Not my idea. And yet it was perfect. It was exactly what she needed. It was the exact thing that was being called forth. So that's why these Orion dragons are so amazing, because they help us to realize that we already know the answers, even if it doesn't look the way that we think. We have to process this information through our right side of our brain, the right hemisphere of our brain, that is the more creative side, which is why when I work with my clients and I do the vocal toning that I do, so much will onboard because I'm not tapping into their left brain. I'm not having them, I give homework assignments, I have worksheets, I have all this stuff because I know that it's useful. But the reason why working with me is a week, is a month, is because of the simple fact that I bypass the logical brain systems. I go past the limbic brain into the emotional part of the brain, into the area that doesn't have any language, singing a soul frequency, channeling your soul frequency back to you so that you can process and you can onboard and you can integrate and you can embody, and your left side of your brain, your logical brain, can't get in the way because it can't understand the words that are coming out of my mouth because they're gibberish. They're your soul frequency. They're whatever sound and tone and shape that come out. But the right side of your brain is like, oh yeah, baby, sing me that song. Let me know what I need to do. And then I'll get messages. And you guys have heard, all this clarity that's coming in for my clients, all this money that's just like coming out of nowhere, all these great ideas, all these opportunities that are coming to them that they don't even understand how is this possible? How is this my life? How is this going on? What is happening? And what's happening is that I've found a shortcut. It's like you're all Alice wandering around in Wonderland, and I'm the Cheshire Cat giving you like the sneak through the hedge. And yeah, the hedge will probably send you straight into the Queen of Hearts. Okay, you're going to end up going through some massive trials, I guarantee you, because that's what upleveling is about. That brings us back to your divine masculine. He also protects. And he protects you by giving you these tests. All these tests where you're like, why does the universe hate me? Why is this happening to me? What did I do wrong? I invested so much money and I never got anything in return. It's because you didn't think you were worth it. It's so simple. I know, it's simple, but it's not easy. Okay? Simple does not equal easy. But it is that simple. You didn't get a return on your investment because you didn't think you were worth whatever return was going to come out of that investment. All these things are happening to you because you have this victim mentality that things happen to you instead of happening for you. When you have amazing opportunities come to you that then collapse and you're wondering, well, why did that happen? And what is the lesson? The lesson is that you need to work on your self-worth. 99% of the things in this world that aren't happening the way that you want to, the people out there that are able to manifest everything that they don't want, it's because they think they're worthy of all those things that they don't want. And they don't think they're actually worthy. And when I say think, they don't believe it, okay? You might think from here to China that you're worthy, but you don't actually believe that you're worthy, because if you actually believed it and knew it, then it would be done by now. Because it's magic. Because as soon as you understand this, it happens immediately. You go and invest money in your new coach and you're completely terrified because it's like the last of your savings. And if you actually know in your bones that investing in that coach is absolutely the thing that's going to change your life, and you know in your bones that you are absolutely worth the change that will occur, then you will be making your investment back times 100 faster than you can even snap your fingers. But if you knew all of that, you probably wouldn't have hired a coach to begin with, right? So that's why finding someone who can reflect back to you your level of actual worth, who's willing to put you through the gauntlet, who is willing to be the Cheshire Cat and then immediately jump into being the Queen of Hearts for you and hold all those spaces, hold space for you to go through your wonderland while you're wandering around this labyrinth trying to figure out what the fuck's going on, and then you come out the other side and you're like, oh my god, I just gave birth to a dragon, and holy shit, that dragon is me. Because you guys think that you're birthing all these things. You think that you're just birthing a book. You think you're just birthing a coaching business. You think you no, you are birthing your highest self in 3D. And it's hard as hell. It is hard as hell. It is super simple. It's super simple. Simple, simple, simple. Know your worth. Know your value. Know you are worth everything that you could ever dream and beyond. Super simple concept. Not easy to execute. Not easy to execute. Especially if you are being taken on a journey by someone who also doesn't know their value or their worth. That is probably the other reason why you didn't receive your return on investment. It had nothing to do with you and more to do with the person that you invested in, not believing that they could actually affect any change. So, pure white dragons from Orion are here to say that we already know it all, we have it all, and we just have to go through the process. And very much like that abundance, beauty, that wonderful emerald green, the emerald dragon from yesterday, a lot of that has to do with taking leaps. A lot of that has to do with doing the terrifying thing that you're like, I have no idea. Like, why am I supposed to invest again? Karen just told me that when I invest, things don't work out. Well, you know what? That all comes down to you. If you don't think that you're worth trying again, then don't try again. If you think that you're never going to make it, then don't try. Like, don't waste all your money investing in all these courses if you don't think you're actually worth it. If you don't really believe in every fiber of your being that the world that you want to create is a world worth living in and a world worth working for. Like, but that's your choice. That is your free agency. Okay? As a sovereign, you have free agency. You have every right to be able to go back and hide underneath your hole and go back and be like the other 90% of the world, walking through life, things happening to them, not exactly sure why, just trying to make it through, going from cradle to grave with as little drama as possible. Go for it. You have that right. But if you know that when you dream, you want to live that dream, if you know that there is something inside of you that's ready to be birthed, if you know that you are so close you can taste it, but you can't figure out why it's not in front of you, why you're not eating it right now, you can taste it in your mouth, why isn't it there for you to eat? That's when you have to take messy, terrifying action. That's when you have to be like, okay, so I've already invested $30,000 in random people and it seemed to be good, and look at these changes and I've come so far, but I still haven't got my thing. But you know what? Fuck it. One more course, one more person, one more group, one more clearing. Because you never know what it is that's going to be the thing that tips the scale. All you know, somehow, even though you have no idea how you know this, you don't know what you know that you know something, but you don't know how you know that you know it. That's another thing that these pure white dragons from Orion teach you. To be able to stand up in front of a crowd of people, go live on Facebook, and tell the world what you know, even though you have no idea how you know it. Because there's no logical 3D way to prove it. Mostly because I haven't written the book yet, y'all. You'll get it. So, with that, we're going to do the invocation for the pure white dragons from Orion. So for those of you who have never received one of these before, let me just break it down for you. I will be doing a vocal toning. So I will be singing, chanting, maybe clapping, snapping, sending out the soul frequency of these pure white dragons from Orion into the ether for you to receive. The song, the tones, the frequencies will hit your energy bodies and affect you either by clearing out lower level densities that are stopping you from manifesting what you want, healing you, healing any wounds, any traumas, any what I call sloppy energy work that was done from previous clearings that maybe didn't completely get rid of it, or activate you, which will help your dragon body turn on, your dragon light body. You are a dragon. You're just in 3D, but your whole like higher self over here is actually a dragon. I like to imagine a dragon more than a floating orb, but you know, when you hear your higher self, just know it's dragon. When I say you are a dragon, I'm talking to your higher self. When I say you're birthing a dragon, your higher self is a dragon. Okay, so that's what's going to happen. You'll either feel really like a nice cleansing and like, ooh, that was fresh. You might feel a healing of like, oh my gosh, that thing that's been bothering me for like 9 years, it's finally gone. Like I don't have any emotional charge when I think about being raped in college anymore. Like there's just nothing there. It's something that happened that I can tell other people, but it doesn't mean anything. Or it will be an activation where afterwards you will feel this tingling, this like need to know more, this extreme urge of like, what's next, what's next, what's next? Like, how do I get more of this? How do I feel like this all the time? Because now that 5D consciousness is running rampant in the light grid, which is what happened on 11/11, literally 6 days ago, 5 days ago, is when 3D consciousness, like, rest in peace, 3D consciousness. Thanks for teaching us polarity. And we're now in the 5D consciousness world. And dragons play the best in 5D. 5D is where song and frequency also lives, where the Archangel Sandalphon has a lot of fun playing as well. So just be open to whatever happens. And go ahead and close your eyes. You can either rest your hands gently in your lap or put them up so that they're around your heart, and then you can just kind of turn them outward. You're kind of making like a funnel almost with your hands, so you'll be directing the energy into you, because you're trying to pull this frequency down in and embody it. You want it to come and land through your crown and third eye, because a lot of you guys live in crown and third eye chakras very, very easily. You can see and imagine yourself walking across that stage holding your Grammy. You can see and imagine there being $10 billion in your bank account. You can see and imagine your wedding so clearly. But then it gets stuck here when you're trying to vocalize your truth, speaking your truth, acting with honor. Here, when it talks about your value, like you're actually being worth receiving that. And then a lot of you guys are just turned off from the waist down. There's no will, there's no push, there's no drive. Maybe a creative thought comes out every now and then, but then it's hard. It gets really hard work. Like I said, the answer is simple. You guys know the answer here, but it's time to stop understanding and start embodying. And the only way to do that is to drop into the lower chakras of the willpower of your solar plexus, the creative genius of your sacral chakra, and the safety and security of your root, because it is so scary to be a way shower. It's terrifying to be leading a pack because you are more vulnerable to people attacking you. You're more vulnerable to people questioning you. And that's why knowing your worth and standing in truth and integrity and honor is so important, because they can be throwing tomatoes at you on stage the whole time and you're going to keep singing your aria because you know that it's actually fucking beautiful, and those people just don't understand good music. Yeah? Okay. So go ahead, close your eyes, hands up, or you can hold them at your heart or prayer pose, wherever they feel comfortable. Nice deep breath in and exhale. And all around you, just imagine the brightest white light, this diamond light, even a black light. You would never look directly into a black light. Just imagine that beautiful white, shining, vibrant light all around you. Truth, clarity, Archangel Gabriel has made his presence known and wants to let each one of you know that you are holding his cosmic diamond, even though he didn't pull the white Archangel diamond, Archangel dragons. He has the cosmic diamond. The cosmic diamond of clarity, of knowing, of worth is what Archangel Gabriel carries with him. And he is telling me that each one of you is already holding it. And many of you are holding it at arm's length. It's just sitting in your auric field and you haven't actually grabbed a hold of it. And then many of you are holding it in your hand, but you haven't placed it into your heart. So he's going to help guide us with doing that through using the pure white dragons of Orion to integrate this wisdom, this knowing, everything that we were downloaded into our auric field on 11/11, that you are currently in this space and time capable of integrating and embodying, is going to be done so today, right now, through this. Remembering that there's more information that is going to onboard as you move through your journey, giving yourself grace that if you feel like things aren't moving fast enough, that you are moving exactly as fast as your oversoul has decreed. As your dragon has decreed, you are doing exactly everything the way that you're supposed to. The only thing stopping you is that left brain. Every time your logic tries to turn on and you stop listening to your body, when you stop listening to your pussy, when you stop listening to your gut, that's when shit goes bad. As soon as you can turn off that logical brain, that victim consciousness, that density that's been around, and you can instead tap into the inner knowing of your worth as a supreme being of immeasurable value, then all those scary things, they're going to still stay scary, but they're also going to be exhilarating. It's going to be just like when I jumped out of that airplane, strapped onto that guy, knowing and trusting and surrendering that he was not going to let us die. And being so excited about what is this going to be like? What is it going to be like to jump? What is it going to be like to free fall above the earth? And simultaneously being like, holy shit, I am jumping out of a fucking airplane. What am I doing? I'm crazy. Get me off of this thing. And it's running through your system simultaneously and you don't know what to do. And that's why you collapse. That's why you're always collapsing back in at yourself right at the good part. Because you don't remember that there is a super hot guy strapped to your back who's not going to let you die. There's dragon wings that are coming through. Remember that this white dragon from Orion says right there, let your wings of light grow and expand, so that when you take that leap, when you take that jump, your wings expand out of your back. Your divine masculine and your divine feminine merge perfectly the second you take that running jump off of the cliff. And you're no longer quantum leaping, you are in quantum flight, knowing your worth and taking more and more people stuck on their tippy tops of their mountains and helping them into quantum flight as well, in whatever way. Through your music, through your words, through your dance, through your art, through your organizational skills, through your ability to grow businesses, through your ability to manage money. All of your beautiful gifts that you're already given, you can amplify them and radiate it out. And it all comes back to knowing your worth in your bones, your beautiful white bones that are going to be lit up today. So go ahead, take another deep breath in. If you let your hands fall, bring them back out again, wherever they are comfortable, and just receive. geada balama meno veani giango miovi wa 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 yami wa me mana mani angani ovia eno mia nani ani no eno mina no mina oi oi mina no via no via ria mia ne ana mia ngongiana uve Oh, so go ahead and take a nice deep breath in. Ooh, feel that tingling in your hands and your spine and your heart. Feel how the dusty pink dragon from Andromeda from the first day, when she aligned those chakras, every time we come back, it's being held into space. That is why these are so powerful to do back to back, is because we are just continuing the container. We're just holding that 1111 portal. Even though it's moved on cosmologically, you still have this strength inside of you, and that high level of energy that you've been feeling over the last few days, it's not dissipating. It's that you are onboarding it, that you are being able to hold this higher level of energy. It's not because the energy is dissipating, not at all. That energy from 1111 and the full moon in Taurus is here to stay. And those people that are collapsing right now are those that don't believe that they're worth holding it. And those of you that feel maybe like it's dissipating, you're either letting it completely fall through, which means that you would also still be experiencing a lot of those ascension symptoms that I talked about yesterday, or it's that you're actually being able to hold it and onboard it. But very soon, if you don't have a way to direct it, then you're going to fizzle out as well. That's the thing about energy. You can hold a whole lot of it, but very much like the post that I was talking about today, if you don't spread your legs and give birth, then there's going to be this like bounce back that starts happening in your body from holding all this energy. So what I've been doing to help a lot is I've been going to yoga every single day, hot yoga multiple times a day. I went to 2 yoga classes yesterday. That's been helping a lot for me, moving it through my body, doing S-factor dancing, so embodied movement. So a lot of this onboarding of this new information is because we brought it down from the 13th dimension and beyond, like way beyond the 13th dimension, pulled it in, and we need that lower 3D experience. So if you're craving certain foods, if you're like super horny, these things that are more physical, you want to go like climb a mountain, do those things and honor that, because that's what your body is trying to get you to do to help integrate and onboard this information. Again, a lot of these things are not going to seem logical because this dragon helps us merge the left brain and the right brain to bring these things that are very like esoteric into our logical mind, and also to help us stop trying to use old consciousness and old way of thinking to process new information. It's not possible. That'd be like running Facebook on one of the 1960s computers. It wouldn't work, right? So Thank you all for joining me today. I love you all so very, very much. If you have any questions or want to reach out to me, if you're interested in working with me, I do offer my bespoke invocations, which is essentially what we just did right now. For you individually, that is $147 for those sessions. They're a 1-hour session where I do a reading for you from this deck as well. Kind of get you tuned in. And then also I have spots available for my private Dragon Academy, and that goes for either 6 weeks or 12 weeks, depending on what it is that you need in your life right now. Remembering, of course, that a week with me is a month with pretty much any other coach on the planet, because I have found that way to bypass so much of the subconscious bullshit that isn't even yours to process, that's there from karma, that isn't necessary for you to deal with, that this is your chance to do that up level in the fastest way possible, to take those goals that you set back in January that you still haven't reached and crush them. Like, crush them and set up 2020 instead of thinking, you know what, I think 2020 would be a good year for me to hit my high 6 figures. That's the year that you're going to hit 7 figures. Instead of it being, you know what, 2020 would be the good year that I start writing my book. No, it's the year that you publish your book and become a bestseller. Instead of 2020 being the year maybe I'll start auditioning, no, that's the year that you're going to be on Broadway. So if you're ready for that, if you're ready to see all of those dreams that you go to every night in the causal plane, and then you wake up and you're like, why is my life still this way? Why isn't it not that? The dragons are coming to you here and now to tell you it's possible. And all it takes is for you to realize that this all comes down to the very simple answer, that the reason why it hasn't actualized is because you don't believe you're worth it. And the nanosecond that you actually know in your bones that you are worth your dreams coming true, your life is going to change so fast that I couldn't even describe it to you. It will become unrecognizable. And yet it'll be exactly what you knew it was supposed to be, and so much more. So if you're interested in that, if you're interested in working with me and seeing what this dragon magic can really do, because obviously in these group settings, it's being affected by everyone's energy, it's being affected by everything that's going on the grid. So when I can get you into your own little egg with me, we can bust through all of that, and you will emerge having given birth to your higher self. And I really can't wait to see what this world is when there's more dragons running around. So, once again, thank you all. Enjoy your Saturday. Namaste. I love you.